As you can tell, it is somebody's birthday. It's mine. So I've laid up some entertainment for you. I will be reading a couple of poems. We will have Mr. Steve Piper reading from his novel. We will have some stuff from Miss Maddie at Roundabout Smoking. And we will have some music from Mr. Gary Lammy.
With a big chip on his shoulder.
I'll start off with a couple of poems to put you in the mood for I really hate poetry. This one is called All the Skinner Girls I Ever Went Out With were tougher than me, had to be. Most could shut up to silence, all could talk till the Monopoly boot came home. The blue of Levi jackets and jeans echoed indurant tattoos. Their eyes the same green as a little grace in their double-double. On a Saturday night I heard Alibaba and I wanted my dream last night. A monkey boot scraping my shin, the stick of cinema carpet as the adverts finish and the action begins. This one is at my local and it's called The Slice of Life. One of the socially blessed tells me she went for a drink in my local and met me mate. Says he was called The Magnet. I nod and ask if he said this because the ladies love him. She nudges my arm. Is it not? No. He's been stabbed 17 times. I wrote this one. There's a really good gay poetry night in our local called Universal Erection. We love it. They do some really good stuff. And I wrote this for them on Easter. This is called He Is Risen. Have you heard the good news? The Saturday after Good Friday, I'm on a bus that passes the local gay bar. There's some commotion and people appear to the street. In the window of the bar, some blompy red queen is working their bum cheeks pressed to the glass, pouring a picture down their topless front. It's all front, missus. The yells of the punters louder than Kingston Road traffic. This is one fabulous green light. I'm sat on the opposite, but an African fellow in his late 50s is copping an eyeful and broad, beaming, smiling. His wife elbows him in the ribs and hisses, "You know that is not a real woman." Looking from the bus and smiling more and more, he whispers, "I know, I know. Have you heard the good news? He is risen." And one more for you, Steve. This one is called Talked Down To by a Girl on the Up. "Darling," she wipes, "your face is so puffy with alcohol. This is my real face, love."
Hey!
And coming up next, all the way from over there, we have very old friend and very good friend of mine, Mr. Steve Piper, who just had his second novel out called Feathers. He's going to read a little bit and tell you about it. Big hand, please, Mr. Steve Piper!
Hi everyone, I've known Steve Jim for many years, and unfortunately for me, he's dragged me all the way up from Chelmsford to somewhere in Camden. We spent many times knocking around together back in the days, getting ourselves into trouble and all sorts of stuff, and luckily for us, we've kept in touch, and he's given me a bit of time tonight to talk to you about this new book I've brought out called Feathers. Now, Feathers is an interesting book for me because I've always been absolutely, if you like, mesmerised by the skinhead girl haircut. However short it is, however long it is, the Feathers haircut for me says a lot more to me than a Mohican, than a Mohawk, anything like that. It's just something that it's a little bit more utilitarian. It's something a little bit more. It says a lot more for me. It's a little bit more underground, and I think it's an incredibly daring haircut to have. Now, the book isn't just about a haircut. The book is about an identity. It's about a young girl that was brought up in a children's home, and she basically decides, she gets to 16, her life's being planned out for her, she does a bump. She doesn't need people telling her where she's got to go to next, what she's got to do, and so on and so forth. Finds herself in London, so he's looking for people to hang out with and stuff like that. Accidentally bumps into a group of people in the middle of London that happen to be goth punks and skinheads. And from there on, the story develops and so on and so forth. But the crux of the story really is about nature versus nurture. What Felicity can't work out, because she obviously doesn't know her parents, is why she's got this yin and yang thing going on. She's an incredibly, if you like, sensitive, curious, well-defined girl. And she's also got this incredible propensity for violence. She doesn't quite know how she finds it so easy to do and so on and so forth. So I'm going to read you a little bit about how she decides to basically get her feather cut, and it sort of goes on from there really. It seems like a really trivial thing to choose to have a haircut, but like I said, me and Tim have discussed many times, back when we were kids, having a skinhead or a feather cut or a mohawk and getting expelled from school, it's as simple as that. I think nowadays we forget that people didn't like to be different. Alright, so I'm going to read a little bit, hopefully you won't get too bored. I'm not used to doing this sort of thing, so just bear with me. Okay, so Felicity basically has turned up in North London. She's knocking out around with a group of people now. She's got herself into what are called a shared household. Felicity froze as she entered the gate, and a gaggle of youths were congregated in the front yard. Two lads were kicking a football to each other, and one aside game of keepy up. Good-natured banter was exchanged when either of the players failed to kick the ball off the floor. They were all similar in age, shape and appearance to the two lads that Neil had spoken to in Carnaby Street the previous day. It was not them, but one of them was wearing a very similar top, a honeycomb cotton knitted, bright white with contrasting blue tick collars, the famous laurel wreath on the chest. The other lad was sweating through a white crew neck t-shirt. The custom print motive on the front declared Acme Skins. His head was oddly shaped, it was slightly elongated, almost oval, nut-like. Another boy and his girl were squatting on the steps that led up to the entrance to the house. They were loosely entwined, his arm draped across her shoulders, the girl tucked into his side. The boy's jeans were tight, his legs splayed, his denim crotch threatened his chances of fatherhood. A fresh, pale, pastel yellow button-down shirt matched the sunshine. Navy blue braces crossed his shoulders, adding contrast to the yellow shirt. His girl was tucked under his wing, watching the horseplay below them with mild amusement. Her bleached blonde hair stood firm and punky, an anti-nowhere league emblazoned t-shirt, and a short skirt and a fishnet tight-clad bottom. A cassette player was perched on another step just behind them, and the sound was mono, vintage, and yet really fitting for the summer day and a relaxed gathering. I said, "Stick it up, mister! Hear what I say, sir! Get your hands in the air, sir! And you will get no hurt, mister!" Felicity recognised a friendly skinhead that stood under the porch in the shade. It was Ronnie, the same boisterous lad that she and Mel had bumped into in the hallway at tea time yesterday. He was still topless, his braces continuing to play no part in keeping his jeans up. His jeans, though, had been customised, areas had been bleached white, marbling the blue denim. He wore his ankle-length blue blood-rich boots with airwear soles and stretched out along a white concrete balustrade, supported by curvy, chest-piece-like columns, was the skinhead she remembered from the brief encounter that morning. He'd not changed out his work clothes yet, though he'd ditched his heavy donkey jacket. He was cradling a large bottle of brown cider in his hands, quiet. But it was the stunning appearance of the girl who stood in the doorway, leaning against the door jamb, that held her attention. It was a close call being quiet was so close by, but the girl was winning through and she was garnering Felicity's full attention. The girl's appearance was shocking. Shocking, yes, but shockingly beautiful. It was a look that some would have called daring, and some may have called anarchic, and some would call provocative, and Felicity had never seen a hairstyle like it. She was used to seeing boys with cropped heads. There were 5 of them in the front yard without clothes. Crops of different braided length, admittedly, but all generally similar cuts. There were subtle touches. For example, the boy with the girl on the steps had grown big sideburns and his hair was dark. They were trimmed in neat and shaped to complement his cut. Hackney's skin had an ultra-thin parting cut into the crown of his number 2 frock, but this was a game changer as far as Felicity was concerned. The girl, raven-haired, her dome was cut short. Not bald as such, but much, much shorter than length, had been deliberately left to accentuate the style. The longer locks had been carefully left to make contrast with the cropped crown, flowing from the rear of her scalp down to cover her neck and tickle her shoulders. Other pieces snaked around her ears, and the shorter length covered her forehead. Of course, Felicity had seen punk hairstyles. They were wild and colourful. They were designed to attract attention and to cause people to stare in shock or wonderment. But the girl's haircut was different. It was both subtle and unsubtle at the same time. The way it was carried, almost utilitarian in design, similar to the boy's cut, but clearly feminine. It was a statement, that much was clear. But rather than a statement to others, it felt more personal. More a statement to the girl's sense of self. It was a powerful statement. Felicity had become so fixated on the details of the hairstyle that she was unaware of the length of time she stood motionless on the path staring. She blinked as the aroma of sun-warmed foliage erupted around her as the football blasted into the privet. What the fuck are you staring at? The girl had moved from the doorway and had advanced to the top of the flight of steps. The lovers on the steps had turned to look up at her, clearly agitated inquiry. The one-a-side football match had been postponed. The star players stayed put. Any thoughts about retrieving the ball had been shelved while they diverted interest in the girl's verbal challenge for the moment. Formidable and threatening, the girl glared down at Felicity, awaiting some response. Yet Felicity could still not look away. Street tough, the girl's choice of fashion was unyielding, and yet there was an edgy, sensual effect to her outfit that was hard to describe. There was a masculinity to the shirt she wore, tartan checked in blues and yellows, a bias-cut placket buttoned up to an open neck. The girl had left the top button undone, which allowed a small silver chain to be seen. The shirt was short-sleeved. The cut of the garment was darted. This alone served to complement her waist, but the fit across her chest and shoulders was perfect. She looked stunning. The cloth and shape of the shirt fitted so well, but the girl's power arms were held by her side, fists ready. Her choice of footwear, heavy black loafers, slip-on shoes, round-toed with a mock front, a pair of tassels dangled from the shoe's apron. Felicity ventured to the bottom of the steps. The girl walked down and met her at the bottom step. This gave the girl considerable height advantage over Felicity. She looked menacing and ready for conflict, her fists tight and cocked. I said, what the fuck are you looking at? You look great, Felicity said. What? The girl screwed her nose up in confusion and gave a snort. Are you taking the piss? Not at all, Felicity. You look stunning. Fucking hell, the girl was incredulous. She shook her head. You are either very stupid or very brave. Brave? Felicity thought that was an odd thing to say. Brave or stupid? The girl looked behind to her friends, her expression one of exaggerated disbelief. The girl, Felicity laughed, triggered by what she deduced was Felicity making fun of her. The girl exploded. Very stupid it is then. She grabbed at Felicity's vest and drew her fist back, ready for the attack. Whoa! A male voice interjected. Ronnie had followed the girl down and had now seen fit to intervene. Initially amused, he had let it run on a bit to see if things were coming to a head, but he had stepped in at the right moment. Felicity breathed, pleased to see that Ronnie had caught the girl's eye. She's Mel's mate, he blurted. It's cool, she stayed with Mel last night. His interruption was a perfect fire extinguisher. Ronnie relaxed his grip. That don't explain why she was staring at me. I don't like people staring at me. Felicity spoke. I meant it. I really love your hair. The girl looked at her. I'm not stupid or brave. Just I like how you look, that's all. The girl shrugged off with a hand, well-meaning though it was. All right, Ronnie, you can back off now. You'll get your medal later.
Yes, very good.
He's broke me duck now, hasn't he?
Nice one, Steve.
Thank you, Brian.
Big up, please, Mr. Steve Piper! Steve does have a few books for sale. Do hit him up. He's a very amenable chap. We have a special guest reader just before the break. Where is Mr. Rich White?
What am I doing?
So, a very good friend of mine, Cheryl Peter's anniversary of her death not too long ago. She was a New York girl, and I thought, who's the most New York person I know? It is Mr. Rich White. Special guest in.
Be gentle, it's my first time. This is called New York Girl. She's got the click-clack of fierce heel-hitting blacktop. She's got sarcasm dripping from the tip of her tongue. She's got a bra made out of steel and panties made out of licorice. She's got a vibrator in her pocket and she's very elusive to see you. She's got that tri-state area glow and a laugh that comes out of nowhere. She's got a voice like a cannon and lips that unravel like spools of silk. She's got a body that curves like the beauty of the open road. She's got Polaroids of herself floating around this city, wearing nothing but her pet snake. She's got no problem with that. She's got that edge. You know that edge. She's got that leather cuffs in the top drawer of her dresser, hot wax dripping into warm flesh kind of edge. She's a New York girl with a flask full of courage and determination cocktail strapped to her left hip bone. She's got important aspects of your psyche drowning in the milky ocean of her complexion. She's got various parts of your anatomy tied up and quivering in their fist, and you're going to have to play a little game to get them back. Happy birthday, Tim. Thank you all for coming to Werewolf here and celebrating the most excellent Tim Wells' birthday. Who have we got up next?
We're having a break.
We're having a break. So that means go see the nice lady at the bar. And yeah, and make sure you buy some books and talk to all the wonderful poets and artists we have with us today and wish Tim a happy birthday. So it's time for beer. Cheers.
I think I won't use the microphone, I'll project my voice. I did GCSE drama, so this should be pretty good. Thank you very much, got an A. So, you know. The first poem I'm going to read is not one that I wrote myself, but is by Ian Duhigg and it's called Goths. I'm not dressed in my gothic attire today, but it's some of my fondest attire. Goths. I love them. They bring a little anti-life and uncolour to the corn exchange on city centre shopping days, as if they had just all crawled out of that Ringu well. So many Sudeikos dripping tarnished silver jewellery onto the undead fashions they dig up in flea markets. They are the black that is always the new black. Their perfume lingers, freshly turned grave sweets. Black sheep, they pilgrim twice a year to Whitby, through our landscape of dissolved monastery and pit, toasting themselves in cider and black currant, vegan blood. They dance macabre at gigs like the Dracula Spectacular. The next morning, love-bitten and wincing in the sunlight, they take photos of each other, hoping they won't develop. This next one is another one, not by my good self. It's by Andy Berryman, and I really like it. It's called Gatekeeper, and I'm starting university myself, studying politics and history, so it's vaguely relevant to my life. Gatekeeper. I like it when you ask me if we had an outdoor bog, or whether we kept whippets. I will explain that the king of sports is darts, enough to teach you how to chalk up, but you never ask. You ask if my kids have the same dad, and I explain that's not done where I'm from. Then I realise I have more conservative in me than I thought. You ask me exactly where I'm from. How can I explain that to you when a Guardian journalist can't? Are you writing a new character, and I'm your research? Are we friends so you could, in all good conscience, call yourself a socialist. You forget. Your degree is in English Lit, and mine is in politics, sociology and economics. Has been since birth. And that was by Andy Barrett. And this is one that I did write. I wrote it a while ago. I've recently found the title for it. It's called A Rallying Cry for a Battle which is, as of yet, remains a slight unknown. Tessellated protractions teeter needlessly on various verges of some or other alleged greatness, the vastness of which seems insane. Insane to believe that I could ever clamber it with my constitutional credence, and then go forth and topple it, conquer it, etc., etc. Yet somehow I will. I do, as my muscles contract, wither, die, become complacent and crumble betwixt ravaged bone, sprained and splintered poles of tissue, its coffee stained, propping a woman's head atop her jelly body. My head is still yet on my shoulders. Is it cowardice, mad subdiffusion? Or just some vague, girlish self-delusion that rattles me so endlessly? No, can't be. My grandeur-infused machinations belie summit ideations, but I do not falter, at the least not for long. I do not falter. Within me I stumble upon summit I cannot fathom, let alone begin to comprehend amidst my number's days. Comprehension is overrated anyways. Anyhow, days are tally scattered upon the cell, but now I am unkillable. I am unkillable, with my dirty ambition so flagrant and uncouth, fumbling with purpose as yet undefined, but the frailty vanquished and vigour refined.
Yeah.
By a poet named Jenny Wren called Sunday Girl. In clean knickers sat on a dirty sheet. Last night, the first time he'd left his wife, and what could have been joy was tears and doubt and guilt. The vitality was albino, yet the bottle corked. No cum on my bedding, just regrets. A phone's blondie ringtone, and he startles. I could beg, but I don't have to. His stink of defeat still clings to me. He's fled flaccid. This girl has spread her wings and flown. And then I have one final one that I wrote in a moment of great trauma. I got shot on by a bird on this particular day, and it was very hard in many ways. And the poem is called "I Got Shot on by a Bird Today." So, got shot on by a bird today. Guess I've been waiting on something to help this bad luck allay. 'Twas a proper cavalcade, this. Its point of contact thrice. Hair, hand, jacket. Though thankfully the jacket isn't that nice. But I'm hoping that as the assault itself was trifold, that my coming good luck will be something proper mega to behold. We'll have to invest in a couple of scratch cards, check out this week's lotto jackpot. As for something I don't deserve, make a move for which I wouldn't usually have the nerve. Of course, the whole, if a bird shits on you, it's good luck actually, conceit is trite. Probably made up by someone downtrodden and covered in shite. Still, a cute little morsel of belief to hang tight to. Makes being shat on a little less demoralising, though I doubt it to be true. And on that note, I'll leave you with this. Yes, it was bird shit, but at least not skunk piss.
Hey!
Well done, Maddie.